Good morning. Welcome back. It's Friday Coffee Talks, episode 69. The show is Coffee Talks. The drink is tea. Really hot tea. Ow. Very tasty. Really hot. I messed up a little bit. Last week I told you that we would have an interview that I've really been looking forward to today. We don't have that. Due to some unforeseen technical difficulties, wasn't able to get the recording done and edited, so that will be coming. I'm not throwing it away. We're gonna get it all fixed, and I will get it posted. But today is not gonna be that day, unfortunately. For those of you hoping to see somebody else besides me this morning, unfortunately, you won't get that. But that interview will be coming, like I say. And today we're going to do something a little bit different, something I've been wanting to do and actually gotten a few questions about. Today we're going to do a gear tour of what it looks like for me to make Friday Coffee Talks. So I am one guy sitting in my basement alone, but there's actually a lot of things that I've gotten and tricks and tips that I've learned to be able to do this and make it look somewhat decent. The first one was sitting in a chair over there holding my phone in my hand. And now it's quite a bit different than that. So I'm going to go through some of the things. So we'll start right here. Behind me, I've got these LED light strips under my shelves back there. I got those on Amazon. They are just straight USB LEDs. They can change colors. They generally stay on yellow because I'm a company man. Yellow is Store Magic's color. Speaking of Store Magic, the sign right here I got made on Etsy. So I just sent them the logo file, and they sent me this acrylic with our logo on it. That also can change colors. It is pretty much always yellow. The shelves themselves back here were built. I did build them. I have collected a lot of stuff through my life in different jobs and hobbies and things like that, and superstitions, a lot of them, gifts. Some of the stuff up here is gifts, photos of memories. And I built the shelves really to showcase a lot of that stuff. It makes me happy when I walk in my office every day and I get to see these things that I've collected. My grandfather's picture is right above me. Memorabilia that I really enjoy is here. And I'm always a video on person. I have a weekly video podcast. Those of you who work with me also know that I take all of my conference calls on video for the most part. So rather than having a digital background or just a blank wall behind me, I always wanted to have something that brings some interest, brings things to look at besides my face. So that was the idea behind building these. The countertop actually is kind of the driver for this. So this was some wood that was gifted to me from a friend. It's actually reclaimed barn beams from a 400-year-old barn in Alabama. That this whole countertop used to be one beam that I milled down and turned into the countertop here. So very proud of these cabinets. I think that's all the stuff behind me. Let's flip the camera and show you what my view looks like when I'm filming an episode of Coffee Talks. All right, so this is the view from my desk. I'm standing up, but my chair goes right here. This is my everyday desk. This is where I do all of my work. This is not a studio as much as I would like for it to be. This is the place where all the magic happens. So I have to be able to have a functional desk here and be able to turn it into a video set on Friday mornings. So let's start with the lighting. I have two of these soft boxes. There's one more right over here. These are the first things that I added to kind of my arsenal as I have been building this thing out. Shout out to Chris Sullivan. He's the one that taught me everything I know about video production. That was a great recommendation from him. I'll link to all this stuff in the comments here, but those are just Amazon. They're actually a gift from my mom. Thanks, Mom. I have two of those. I also have a ring light. It's over here right now. I don't use it a whole lot anymore, but sometimes it's a backlight. For a long time, it was my tripod, and I use that as my main front light. I have that. I don't use it a whole lot. As you can see, I've got the microphone here on a boom arm. That is not something that I use for work every day, so it typically will fold up and push out of the way when I'm not recording anything. I have a headset right here that I use for work stuff, but this is a Jlab microphone. I really like it. Getting the audio right has been the hardest part of this whole thing. So getting a microphone that works well and is easy to adjust has been huge. Let's see. I got I have the camera mounted here on a tripod. This is actually partway on my desk and partway on the floor. So that just kind of gets things up and out of the way. When I'm not filming an episode, this camera will mount right up here on my monitor. So that's where I take the conference calls and things like that. I'll transition over to the tripod when I am filming an episode. When I'm doing interviews or anything, I have the TV over on the wall that my computer is hooked up to. So I will I'll typically put Zoom. We use Zoom for my interviews. The actual call will go on that TV so that I'm kind of looking at the camera-ish while I'm talking to the person I'm interviewing. Generally that would have on these monitors, I'd have, like my questions, some notes or anything up here. Spotify stays up on, on that screen for the most part. Any files. I know this is really a weird monitor setup to have the one vertical and one horizontal, but it works really well for me actually. So nice to get those up and off the desk. As far as recording, this is the program I use to record everything. It's called Obx Studio, and it is a great recording tool for things like streamers, people that are doing gaming streams or anything like that. It also happens to work pretty well for video podcasts. This is actually the scene that I use for interviews. So I had a custom overlay built, and that is actually recording the TV screen behind there. So the Zoom call would kind of fit in those boxes, and that's a little how the magic happens there. I've given you a tour of my coffee room, but the closet over here has my coffee machine and all the coffee supplies. So that is very important to Friday Coffee Talks. Can't do anything without that. And yeah, I think that's my desk. So that's pretty much it. Outside of what I've already showed you, the only other things that I use are Adobe Premiere Pro for my video editing. That's how I'll put together everything. The intro and outro clips, any kind of graphics were all done on Fiverr. So to all my graphic designer friends, I apologize I used Fiverr. This has really kind of grown into a show that didn't have a whole lot of investment. So pretty much everything has been done on the cheap. So graphics had to be done how they had to be done. So Adobe Premiere Pro is my video editing tool. For podcast hosting, I use a website called Buzzsprout, which has been really great, really easy to use. They do all my podcast hosting, and then I can share it out through there to all of the different platforms. So Spotify is where Parker likes to listen to it, and I generally use Spotify. We're on Google Podcasts, on Apple Podcasts, on Stitcher, I think. So all over the place there, and that's thanks to Buzzsprout. And yeah, and beyond that, it's ideas and it's interviews and it's talking about the things that are going on in my daily life. So thank you all for joining me. I'm going to link, like I said, link to everything that I can in the comments. So if there's something that you see that you want more information on, I'm happy to happy to answer. And with that said, I'm also going to do something over the next few weeks that I've been wanting to do for a while. So if there's anything that you've ever wanted to ask me, I'm going to do a Friday Coffee Talks AMA, an Ask Me Anything. So I'm going to put a post on LinkedIn. I'll probably also put something in the episode notes for this one about an AMA. I'll give it a couple weeks. So send me a message, post on my or comment on my LinkedIn post, leave a comment here on YouTube. If there's anything you want to ask me, I will answer any and all questions that come in on an episode in a couple weeks. So get your questions in. I'd love to answer anything that has been burning a hole in your little brain there. And yeah, thanks you guys for coming. We'll have some interviews coming up. I have some really, really exciting ones planned over the next few weeks. So I can't wait to get those out there. Thanks for joining me. Thanks for taking a tour of my office today. And we'll catch you next week.